Welcome back to the podcast for the second time, guys. If it's your first time, welcome in, welcome in.
Yeah, welcome. And this time we got video for you. We're already stepping up the levels, and it's already our second podcast.
And
Yeah.
so maybe, Mark, do you want to start off with just, you know, what we're going to kind of be basing the podcast around this week?
Yeah, so we'd like to welcome you to the second podcast. And, welcome again. And what's coming in today's episode is some life updates, meta breakdowns for set champs, the workshop requests where we take your questions and we answer them right here on the podcast, and the hero of the week.
And I think that if you've been looking into Lorcana recently, if you've been watching, there's been a significant amount of leaks for the new set that's right around the corner, coming to your local game store February 13th, I believe. So that's going to be awesome to get to play in this very winter themed, lots of Christmas, Disney movies kind of come into life. You got characters who don't necessarily play in the snow that are seeing snow for the first time. So a lot of cool stuff like that. And so I think a lot of the art's really awesome. And the actual world itself reminds me a lot of Kingdom Hearts and the way the worlds look when you're transporting from world to world. So when I looked at the Frozen, it actually looks a lot like the Kingdom Hearts 3 Frozen world that you go to. So it's a
I love
cool
that
little Easter egg.
Like Kingdom Hearts games. And obviously we're going to go over some of the cards that were leaked on the Lorecast. And I actually was able to watch the whole Tuesday Lorecast. Let's get into some life updates. Zach, what's been going on in life, man? Since Virginia, I haven't even seen you, dude.
Mainly just been trying to grind some games on Lorcanito. I was playing dogs at the DLC, so one of the decks that I obviously picked up was the deck list that had top 8'd, just to see kind of what it had ticking around with it. That was pretty fun.
Oh, you tried it out?
Yeah. I jammed some games with it. It was working pretty well. I liked it, so that was fun. I'm not 100% sold if it's still the correct pick, but again, with even seeing some of the winter spell cards, you see these new cards and my brain starts thinking about adding these cards to other existing decks or how it's going to affect other decks. And with it being so close, January's already almost coming past, so we're almost there to this next set. So thinking about core constructors for this week and next week, after the DLC, it felt like this kind of lull of super vigilant of it. I mean, we still have set championship we want to get to this weekend, but obviously there's a massive winter spell coming to all of New England. So we're about to get hit pretty hard. So. Hopefully we don't get frozen too hard by Elsa, and we are able to maybe even play a set championship on Sunday, but I doubt it.
It's gonna be rough. We already had a couple of places change the date, which completely makes sense because you'd rather have a set championship than not. So
nobody should.
Which stinks for me because I can't make it now, but. As long as it's happening, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's also one of those, you don't. I could see somebody, needing to drive to a medical appointment maybe or something, but in a storm like that, everybody should just stay safe. And if they, rain check, I believe there'll still be one additional weekend of set championships that you might have a chance to go to. No,
I don't think anything is happening the first week of February. But maybe someone could have really delayed it. So
especially for our area, but we can always be hopeful. But other than the not set championship weekend, what about yourself, Mark? What do you got going on for life updates?
Yeah, I haven't played much Lorcana. We did get an awesome gameplay video of our DLC matchup, and that should be out by the time this drops. So. You'll see it right over here. Editor Maria, we love you. Just put that link right there. Awesome. And yeah, I've just been really watching all the leaks, seeing some. I've been really on our Instagram channel a lot this week, and just like really inspired by a lot of the creators being so like you know into it, and it was insane, dude. Tuesday, all of the things drop, and it's like literally 30 minutes afterwards, like bang, 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 like super nice visual, awesome leaks. Like Lorcana Goons had some really cool stuff. Pandora
It's like
Quest had some
boom,
awesome
boom, boom,
stuff.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, the
Momentum.
additional ink had like sweet like visuals, so I thought that was really cool and shared a bunch of it. I'm super excited for the OTK deck. I think it's especially with the leaks, especially like today. We're not going to go over all of the leaks that were from Wednesday to today, but some
No,
of it
I
looks
yeah.
crazy. You
No,
know?
no, no, no. And they're still going to be crazy. We the best is yet to come, and I think we're going to see even more powerful cards come from this set. And after having watched the Lorecast, something that I could super appreciate is that Ravensburger, from being already like pretty established prior to Lorcana, they had this Magic the Gathering feel of like even better quality. Like I was very impressed at the quality of that
Yeah.
entire production, and it was very well done. And even just
Yeah.
having the guest speakers like coming in and out and talking, and it didn't feel stale. It felt very segmented in the regard that you went from this segment to this segment, and it felt very
Yeah.
progressive. And then it led up to the iconic reveal. Which, spoiler, there were two iconic reveals from the Lorecast. I think we
Yeah.
got a few days after that, so it simmered
Oh, yeah.
down a little bit about it, I'm sure, but whether or not all these cards end up making into core constructed, I think that all the cards I've seen so far, I'm gonna love playing limited formats like sealed and draft, which part of the Lorecast really excited me to kind of skip ahead a little bit, which was that they announced that they were going to do pre-release kits, which is an insane
Yeah.
to my Magic background of that. I was super super confused on the first pre-release event I went to. We did the structure deck tournament. I'm like, what's going on? Where's my 6 packs and my promo card? And then they literally did it, which is awesome. It seems like they're going to give either trove dice or specifically pre-release dice, which would be just
Hmm.
another fun thing to collect for collectors. And then that's also going to be another rare card that you can get, where you'll only be able to get this foil rare from the pre-release, and it's going to be awesome if you get like the Chase Dumbo-esque rare from those pre-release packs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting how that shapes the market for some of the Lorcana cards and make sure, maybe some of the other people who kind of like the financial side a little more. Yeah, some other life updates that we have is that we have, we believe in community. Then that's a big reason that Zach and I really started, well, not started playing Lorcana, but sort of started playing Lorcana. Our past games community is kind of rough. And to do that, we love to partner with card shops and, do our own tournaments. We obviously, we kind of do 50-50, and we like to put up our cards that we win or that we pull as price support. So, yeah, Zach, do you want to mention what tournaments we have coming up?
Yeah, so we were able to partner with both El Cardboard, one of our local game shops from Pawtucket. Those guys are awesome. Naif and Steph do a great job over there. We've done several tournaments with them before, which are called the El
Yes.
Sorcerer's Workshop. We tend to do that as an inspiration from like the lull that happens between a set release and when the set championships start happening, so people have a little bit of something to compete towards. And it happens to be that Mark and I get so fortunate fortunate as to be able to get to go to so many set champions usually per season, and then
Yeah.
also get to go to more DLCs than your average player. Like, it's just a fortunate thing for us. So even at DLC Richmond, we were grinding away at those tickets, and we were able to secure a couple extra promos. So that's going to be part of the prize support. So for L Cardboard, we are doing it on February 15th at 12 p.m. or yeah, 12 p.m.
Yep.
And it's $30 entry for a sealed event. So because we're going to do two, it's going to be actually on pre-release weekend, on pre-release weekend, because people are already going to be doing their sealed games and stuff. So with that one, we're actually going to be doing epics for the top four. So the first place will also get a Thunderbolt epic. Second place will get an Elsa epic. Third place will get a Daisy epic. Fourth place will get a Mulan epic. And then we're also going to be raffling off two other epics. And a bunch of other prizing. We always do tons of raffles on those events. It's really just community driven. We've gotten crazy Disney art pieces before that we've raffled off. We raffle off sleeves. We raffle off packs. All types of jazz. And when we have some great people that come in and they get hyped up when people get the best one out of all the raffles, and it's super fun, and it's such a great vibe from there. And then a new card shop that we've been able to partner with. We have a place called One Up Games. They're also amazing. They're an amazing community. They have like a whole video game vibe going on to them. You can get a beer. You can get snacks. You can get all types of different retro video games. You can buy video game time on the screens. Cool. There's a crazy Digimon scene there, so it was awesome to be able to partner with them. And most importantly, the Lorcana scene is also huge there. I always see massive tournaments there, especially during pre-releases, and you meet all types of players, and they're awesome. And the tournament that we're going to be hosting there is going to be Friday, February 20th. It's going to be core constructed. It's going to be roughly around the $35 price point margin, and probably just Swiss with no cut to top 8. And then, so the first place will be the Enchanted Pegasus DLC promo card that you got for entering into the DLC main event. The second place will be the Enchanted Mulan foil from the DLC that I had gotten from entering into the Infinity Tournament on Sunday. The third place will be the Enchanted Maleficent Dragons promo card. And then the fourth place will be the Enchanted Daisy from the most recent set championship, with also a raffle of the non-foil Pegasus full art card from the DLC Richmond. Yeah, so we were able to fully load this tournament up. It's going to be awesome, but it's also going to be a great opportunity for some players who didn't get a ticket to DLC, even an attendee badge, so that way they can maybe go and duke out some Lorcana games and win themselves a promo.
Yeah,
awesome.
And it's exciting because it's on a day that is already the local day, which is, all of the local players who actually show up to the locals can get that prize. And it'll be cool to see what new decks people put in to play, especially with the new winter spell coming out.
Absolutely. And some people get a little bit of cold feet when it comes to playing a tournament, maybe 1 or 2 weeks after a set release. And I've never been that way. I always love to dive nose deep into, especially the uncommons that you might be overseeing sometimes. Sometimes all it takes is 4 good uncommons to add to an already stacked out deck with a bunch of good rares from all the other 10 sets that we have to work, 11 sets that we have to work with. So for me, it's just fun to see, oh man, that card is actually great in this situation because my deck's built like this. Or even just that you might have, a card that's going to maybe get reprinted in the new set, and you already have 4 copies. You're already ready to go. You've been excited for this card for 2 weeks since you saw it in spoilers. So I think that there's a little bit of, timidness when it comes to that. But people should just dive right in, even if you don't have the perfect deck. I don't think anybody has the perfect deck 2 weeks after a set release. So that's something to keep in mind. Either you play it conservatively and you keep it close to what it used to be, or you go really deep and you put a lot of new cards in, or you sprinkle some in anyway, it's not going to probably be what you end up seeing in a couple weeks at the next DLC or next big
Exactly.
PPG event. It will have varied based on the meta shifts on Lorcanito and other tournaments.
I mean, even in the past set, everyone thought Blue Steel was literally going to be unstoppable. And look, it barely even topped in the DLC. You know? So, you can always think something. And then, also, if everyone's talking that Blue Steel is going to be good, get an aggro deck out there. Like, just do the complete opposite. Sometimes you don't even have to add that many new cards, like you said.
Unpredictability sometimes is your best friend.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, you'd be surprised how many people actually don't look at the new cards. Like, so many sealed and drafts, I'm sitting there and they're like, this is my first time looking at all these cards. And I'm like, really? I've studied a whole draft guide for the past week and a half. So it's like, you know, you will have people like me who are studying the draft cards for 2 weeks. But you also have the same person who just shows up to have fun. So there is no, pressure. Yeah, so that's what we've been up to. I think the last thing we wanted to talk about, which I feel bad, I just made you talk about all the tournament stuff, but I haven't looked at the new Play Hub filters and search engine. So do you mind talking about it? Sorry, I just made you talk for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. It was a small little shout out that I wanted to give because I've seen a couple different. We obviously it was Melee before, and Melee was also used for Magic, and I mean I've had some mixed feelings about it. It's okay sometimes, but crashes sometimes. So at least they're making like improvements onto it. It's not like it's not a perfect system, but one of my biggest gripes was that we have to go to like Discord chats and find links to go get to this tournament rather than me being able to go onto a search engine and just look up. This is the local game store I go to every week. Look it up and then go to there and then look up the tournament that they have for today. Like, it shouldn't be like this quest that I'm going through, like looking for links and going here. Like, the fact that now it has a lot more specifications, so you can be like, I want to look for set championships this weekend or 2 weeks from now, or I can look for it within 50 miles. There was just like a massive amount of changes that I saw, because it used to be like 4 options, and I had actually taken a picture of it. So just because it had so many different things, you can look up by the address, your own location, so you can just use your phone's location, by the store name. You can look it up by core constructed, infinity, draft, sealed, pack rush, and it just looks so much cleaner. You can also filter your searches, and then it's like drivable set championships, locals this week, just like a bunch of really crazy good buttons to have that you would think would be intuitive to add to a system like that, but it's not always what you're thinking when you're just trying to hit the ground running. Like, no, we need to get this out to them so they can run tournaments, and then we'll fix it later on. So at least they went back to it. A lot of times it's just about remembering to go back and fix those things for the players. Especially, it's a big turn on offer. How many new players have we seen, Mark, where they're like, I can't log it, and then the TO just has to add them in on their computer, because it's so much easier to add them in on their computer side. So it's like, you just make that user friendliness like go over to the player, and then they'll do their diligence.
The funniest thing with the Play Hub was when people put in like their emails, and it's like, we have a local player, and he put Fart Donkey, and he was like, no one's gonna see Fart Donkey. His name is just Fart Donkey, and every time we're like, he's over here, don't smell him, baby. So that's hysterical. I'm excited for the new Play Hub. But I hope you guys enjoyed our, what we've been up to section, and I appreciate all the comments about Tommy and his pizza last week for those who listened.
Oh yeah, would you like to go into some of the questions that were asked?
We can do that after we talk about the metagame.
Gotcha.
To keep it in the order. But if you're now questioning what stories, you gotta wait. And now we're gonna talk about the meta, baby. And I am super excited. We're going to talk about a little bit of the meta, because most of it has stayed the same, right? A lot of it has changed. But this is really where we're going to get into the goo of some of the spoilers, And yeah, I guess like a quick 5 minute, maybe or so. Just how's the metagame looking? Uh, is blue green still really that good? I think so. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think I think the big thing that people have to know is that you have to make the difference between a set championship and a DLC, right? So, unfortunately, in our East Coast meta, we have a bunch of blue green. So we were like, it's gonna happen. Like 50% of our room is really blue green a lot of the time. So we kind of have to have it on our radar. But some of your guys' locals, some people I hear is it's 50% amethyst steel, which is completely different. So you play with these players every single week. Most of the time, like you should know what the meta of the room is. So it's not really what's the best deck, but what's the best in the room, and what's the numbers of the people that are playing those colors in the room.
Well, and I also might piggyback onto like also what deck you feel comfortable playing. If you don't feel confident playing a deck, you might not do is if your goal is to learn how to do better with that deck, then by all means go with it. But if your goal is to do good, more than likely you should stick to something maybe that's better known or is a little bit more simplistic in its
Yeah,
play patterns and stuff. So
yeah,
that,
but I think that the combo deck is still really strong, and I think even with a lot of these spoilers, it's going to be even stronger next set. Um, but yeah, do you have anything you want to add to the metagame before we talk about some spoilers?
yeah, I mean, I guess really the only super impactful thing I had was trying out the dogs list from the DLC and playing around with it, and I think that's it's a really cute idea to play the rhinos as the one. I really like it as the one drops because it's like you can have these situations where it's like sing Adela's Moon Lullaby, play rhino, now sing Under the Sea, and you catch so many more things that it makes you be able to compete on that side of things. It feels a lot more adjacent to what Dogs was last set, where you had this very like aggro but also tempo driven plays, and then you could also play almost a control game where like Mowgliing and Ursulaing all their combo pieces out of their hand, while also under the seeing like the purple steel decks that might try to flood the board on you.
Yeah, I think that the
like
purple
beautiful
steel
middle
matchup
ground.
is ridiculous. Where it's usually flopped, like where the dogs match up with purple steel, I feel like purple steel almost always will win it. But with that version, it's like
It's
you
not even
can't
close. Yeah,
really. Yeah,
and if you watch our gameplay with a version of the deck list I was playing, I was dispositioned against purple steel for sure.
yeah,
Some of the cards that would bring you back from the matchup were like the dapper dog, or it's like a 2/8, so strength is pretty hard to take it out. There's not as much stuff that'll be able to take it, and plus you'll draw a card. But other than that, there wasn't too many saving graces. Like Shifting Lady to grab back one drops was pretty good, so you could also flood the board and outrace them. But like a lot of times it came down to that: like, are they going to race you faster, or are they going to slow you down
yeah,
too much because your guys are really tiny and
yeah.
easy to beat up on. But the Della Moon Lullaby and the Rhino being until your next turn makes it also like a fog effect. You can just
Exactly.
make it
Yeah,
so that way none of their guys can challenge your guys. You get these free quests in. So I still think that dogs are super strong, and there's going to be some spoilers that I'll point out to as we go through that I'm just like very excited to test in dogs to see if it's something that'll help improve certain matchups.
yeah.
And compete with some of these control cards that are going to continue to pop out and make these blue decks super dominant, to see if they have a chink in their armor.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's get into some of these spoilers, Zach, because even though we've both seen them, I haven't heard any of your thoughts on
Yeah,
really almost any of them. So it's going to be cool to live chat it out, which usually we just do over the phone. So
yeah,
doing it on a
absolutely.
podcast is a little better.
So I think we can start off with maybe just going through all of our stuff that we have posted on the channel. So if you've got it, you can kind of read along with us, or you can go check it out. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Facebook. You got all the links for all of our YouTube and all of our endeavors as well. But we'll start off with this card, Ruben. Very funny because he's also making a sandwich. Because he is the sandwich expert. So he's a 1/3, inkable, 2-cost, quest for 1, and his ability, Lunch Special, you can exert him, and then remove up to 2 damage from chosen character of yours. For each damage removed this way, you can pay 1 less for the next character you play this turn. So, this is pretty cool. I don't know how practical it is just yet, but maybe you could get some value out of it in limited. I'm not super sold on it in constructed just because we don't have a teeth and ambitions type deal, so dealing damage to your own guys doesn't happen quite as much.
Yeah.
And you get this consistency from Lantern and Huey, these gain a lore off of a dock. So it feels weak in the regard that it's not getting you off lore every time or off ink every time.
And it also gets cleared right away, so you get 1 use with it. The only thing I've seen is Mulan 1 cost, but it's you do Mulan, so now turn 3, you can play a 5-drop.
Yeah.
And heal it, but it's what 5-drop are you playing in Ruby Ember? I mean, Horseman Strikes, I guess, on 3.
Yeah.
Seems pretty good, but I mean, I don't know. I just think the exert ability, if it was obviously on play, the card would actually be insane.
Right? Yeah. No, absolutely. But I think that
even the 1/3 is so rough.
Yeah, you could play this card to just gain you ink at a later turn, and you just play a bunch of guys that have damage on them already. But then you're just choosing to play weaker characters, because most of the time the characters with much damage on them are weaker of health. And so you're just gonna get somebody who slams a cat and just kills your dude that has now your guy's banished. It has 1 or 2 health on it because it's a Mulan or a beast or something, and they move the damage from their cat and just kill it. So
yeah,
I'm not super sold on it. But
you're gonna see me. I mean, and you can clip this now. I'm gonna be this card is not that good, and then in
and then it's just
3 weeks, it's gonna be in Monster Combo. Yeah, it's gonna be in the Monster Combo deck because it's gonna be when you move cat, you're gonna play the mind game where they think you're gonna actually move the damage, but no, you're just gonna play Monster on 5.
You're just you're just gonna jam Ruben for whatever reason.
Yeah, but hey, yeah,
right,
solid. I like the artwork, but
on to the next
card. Yes.
So we got Beast.
Nice.
He is the Snowfield Troublemaker, and he's a 3/1, 2-cost, and he has Rush, and inkable. Also an inkable 2-cost, and he's a Dynamic Maneuver. Whenever this character challenges, if he's at a location, he takes no damage from the challenge. I mean, it brings you back to Ruby Amethysty days of you have a library, Bell's library. I do believe I got a peek at a possible other good locations that have come out, possibly for spoilers. So maybe this is a good card. I mean, an inkable 3/1 with Rush is already something, for a defensive red deck.
Yeah, I do. I love the Beast, and I like the stats. But then it's how many 3-cost characters are 4/4s now? There's a few. Or, even a 3-cost 3/4, So, I feel this isn't outing a bunch of, 3-cost things, which can be rough. I don't know how, the location...
It doesn't even kill Daisy, it needs to lose air to kill Daisy, so it is a rough stat line. Because, I mean, but it is... in my opinion, better than a queen. Even though you have the 1 extra health, more than likely queen's gonna die on an attack. Your Basil onto the queen in like a blue-red deck to like kill a 4 attack thing. In this, you just get a little bit more reach, and then you quest with a Basil, and then you make it 5, and then you get attack for 5, and now you can kill the Daisy. So there's at least that.
I also think too,
a ton of play.
2 things that I really like. One, this pairs pretty good with the Hercules because it's a hero. So technically, it doesn't have to be at the location. It will never
also
take
just
damage.
have the hero effect.
Yeah,
it's more that it could either be the location or that you have a Hercules out. And
it
makes
so you have
like
those
2 drop
options.
really good.
And then I think what's crazy, which I have heard no one say, is that we finally have a B shift, man, for Infinity.
It's true.
Ruby Steel. This is a 2-cost beast. We can shift on 3 now. No one's talked about it. That's insane, yo.
I know you weren't in the Infinity event in DLC, but we're way past Red Steel shifting a beast.
No. I'm telling you right now.
I would
comment
love
down below if you
world.
believe in Shift 3 Beast. I think everyone will be on my side. I'm gonna have everyone bring Ruby Steel to the Infinity event.
Red Steel, either Ruby Steel, Shift Line 3, or any other random Infinity.
Exactly.
Put your money down now. All right. On to the next. Card. We got Timon.
Oh, yes.
He's pretty sweet. So he's a 3-cost uninkable amber card. He's a 2/3, and he quests for 1. He has Get Rid of That ability, which is when you play this character, chosen opponent reveals their hand and discards a non-character card of your choice. So this is an upgraded Mowgli a bit,
I mean, yeah. And you can do it on turn 2 and turn 3. It's like insane.
Well, you're going to be able to take. I'm doing a disservice to Bare Necessities, really. What am I doing forgetting about that card? This is a Bare Necessities, but on a character now. Mowgli was almost Bare Necessities on a character. This is Bare Necessities on a character.
Yeah.
It's uninkable, but it's a character, so.
And the 2/3 is tough, but I mean, like, if you take away their hand, it's not going to matter, like, the stats on the board. Because they're probably not going to be able to establish something that insane. Especially, like, we need to out the Prince Philip thing. And the more tools we have to out that stuff, Because now, they're like, I'm going to hold a developer brain and the malicious. But now it's like, okay, please. Please hold some things.
Absolutely. And then maybe they can get it off of their develop. But really, what this card offers is also some. This is probably the first card on the list that will say is tentative to go into the dogs list, because I can play this, and then I can have a Chromacon out, and now you don't want me to bounce this back to my hand. I'm just gonna quest with this every turn. You don't want to challenge my other stuff. Like, I'm just gonna bounce my Timon, and now I'm gonna get to replay it. So they'll be have to be cautious, because it's like, all right, I have Mowgli, Timon, and Ursula out. What do you want me to bounce back to my hand?
Yeah.
So
I have to. I can't think of it on the top of my head, but like the card count. But like, the 4-cost action that came out this set that says, like, if you have more cards in your hand, you gotta discard 2. Like, there could be, like, if someone's on the draw where you go, like, Mowgli, take a card, this, take a card, they still actually have more cards than you. Maybe because you're playing aggro as well, and then you play that, and, like, you just take over their hand by turn 4.
Funny you mentioned that card. It was a funny moment in a Pack Rush event over DLC weekend where somebody used that card on me, and they made me discard.
Oh God! Really?
I had Horseless Headman, I think it is. It's the weird one. It's the 5/10 card. I had a foil and a in my hand. I discarded both of them. I was just like, what is going on? But all right. So Timon, I think, is probably even my favorite card so far. But
he's A tier for sure.
But I mean, tough act to follow. But Donald does a good job. So this is Donald Duck, Fred Honeywell, a 4/4, 4-cost inkable, cost for 1. He has 2 abilities to him. So he's got the Spirit of Giving. So whenever you use the boost ability character, you may put a card, put the top card of your deck under them face down. So
Get to boost them again.
you're basically putting 2 cards under. I don't think you get to use the boost ability twice. You just get 2 cards from each boost. And then during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, you may draw a card for each card under that was under them. So you get this crazy card draw off of him.
This card is interesting. I feel like it could be either really insane or not good at all. I am excited for purple green, or I think it's going to come back. I think has a really good shot, especially with this card.
This card is
cat for 2.
You'll even start playing you'll naturally want to play the 1-cost Flynn Rider that has the effect. You'll naturally want to play cat. And then there's probably 2 or 3 other boost cards that won't look so bad now that you have this. And there's even from Winterfell we don't know yet. That we haven't even gone through on this list yet. That I'm not thinking of.
That's insane with the Flynn, dude. Because you can play the 2-cost duck thing that boosts him for free, and then you could just get him 3 cards underneath, and you're drawing 3.
Now they.
And it says whenever it does say your opponent's turn, which is a little
Well, not really though, because then at that point you just pressure. You just quest.
You
quest. And so then they'll just eventually have to answer your stuff.
At least it doesn't say banished in a challenge.
Yes, in a challenge it would be they went back to set 1 values where they're just making all the emerald legendaries bad. But and I do have to speak on the artwork. It's very nice artwork. I love the Christmassy Donald. So gotta love Donald. All right, on to
I can. I'm going to take some of them.
Yeah. You can go for it, dude.
Just because I don't want, I want it to be fair for you.
No,
I don't want you to talk too much. All right, next one we have a 3-cost inkable Tinkerbell. It's a 3/3. First effect says Flurry of Delight. While you have 4 or more cards in your hand, this character gains evasive, which is pretty cool. And there's another effect, Spectacular Find. While you have 7 or more cards in your hand, this character gets +3 lore, which would make it quest for 4. It's also the set championship promo card that we're going to be getting, which I think is really cool. When you think of other cards, Dumbo is a 4-cost 3/3. This is a 3-cost 3/3. It has the potential to, you have to have the cards in your hand for it to be evasive, right? But ideally, you will have those cards in your hand.
I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb that, for each ink you play, if you get at least 1 attack and 1 health, roughly, or at least, 1 of each, you're probably pretty decent.
Yeah.
So 3 for 3/3 is pretty decent.
Yeah, with the evasive, and I think on 4 on the draw, you'll always have that many cards in your hand. And then I think if you play Genie right after, you still have 4 cards in your hand. I'm not the best at that, but I'm pretty sure.
I'm thinking that this is maybe all right in Blurple ? But
a late game, just play 2 of these and just be I'm pressing for 8.
It is leery of me to play a card that has an ability that only comes into play when I have 7 or more cards in hand, because that feels like a win more card. That second ability is kind of useless, because it's if you have 7 cards in your hand, it doesn't matter if Tinkerbell quests for 1 or 4, you're probably going to win that game. But then also that having cards in your hand, but then having these new discard effects coming out, it's she's almost in contradiction with that. It's okay, so we have Mowgli's and Ursula's, and we have this new Timon card, and then we also have Bend Your Will being in the best deck of the format right now, where they have a 7-cost, just make you discard your whole hand. So that makes me a little leery about the card, but I mean, obviously meta shift, and Ben might not be as good in the next meta.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think also though, like the ability to like use Dumbo, because you're gonna be on the draw, you're gonna be able to Dumbo effect. Well, no, because you pay 4 for Dumbo, but
But you're probably if you're playing this
like
thing,
you will have an evasive.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a decent 3-drop for maybe purple steel too.
Yeah, it'll be very
Yeah,
interesting to see where it
people have been
goes.
playing Pete, and it's like a lot of times Pete just kind of dirtles, doesn't do too much on turn 3 versus this like poses a threat.
Dirtle. All right, we're gonna move through it here.
On to the next.
All right, 4 cost uninkable emerald goofy ghost of Jacob Marley. It's a 4/4 boost 2 quest for 2 with the ability grave outcome. When this character is banished, each opponent chooses and discards a card for each card that was under him. So yeah, another emerald banger.
This card's sweet.
When
Again,
this character is
it
banished,
says stat line 4 cost. You get a 4/4 and he quest for 2, along with the Donald Duck with the boost effect. It's pretty good.
yeah, it's really interesting. It's hard to like think of the boost mechanic sometimes when it's like you don't see the gameplay, because it's it's so hard to be like how many cards is this going to be.
Well,
It also says when it's banished though, so I can challenge and make you discard on my turn.
Yes, but then also, if it happens to be that he is banished on your opponent's turn and you have Donald out, then he's going to be, with the Donald, be putting 2 cards underneath him. So even if you don't get the Donald effect from the extra draws, from the extra boosted cards underneath him, with this is when this character is banished, each opponent chooses and discards a card for each card that was under him. So the Donald's putting, you boost for 2, then you put 2 cards under him because of Donald. Now they're going to have to discard 2 cards minimum every time you've boosted.
Yeah.
So you could.
Well, and like if it's on your turn, like you said, I think you'll get both. So they'll have to discard and you'll draw 2.
Yes. If it's on your opponent's turn and they kill this Goofy because you've been questing for 2 with it for the last 4 turns and that you're at 12, they want to stop it, so they go challenge it. Now they get to discard like 4 cards from their hand, and then you're gonna draw 2 cards. So like, what are they gonna do?
So do you know what that reminds me of? A guy called Prince John who made you discard and then you got
Yeah, so you lose cards and I gain cards. This is great.
Yeah, it's literally like the Prince John, but now it costs like 8.
Your opponent does actively have to choose to do it too, and there's plenty of ways around it. So if like you Hades it, it's technically not being banished, so it doesn't activate the Donald and it doesn't activate the Goofy.
Yeah, or they get rid of the Donald first. Too.
Absolutely.
It's like this
might be the correct choice. like removal spell it and then attack the Goofy, and then they only have to like discard cards, which is still probably bad for them. But I think it's a pretty good card. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll take the next card, and then you can take the following. But this card, man, woo-wee-wee, a 5 cost, inkable, Sapphire Moana. She's a curious explorer, 4/4, questing for 2, and an ability that's just, I think it's a decent. You can ink cards from your discard. Just a legendary too. Just let you know. It's not that good, right? I mean, we can just skip over to the next one. Right?
Oh man, this is insane. This is insane.
Do you want to let the listeners know how it works too with the Sail the Azurite Sea?
Yes. So it does work with Sail the Azurite Sea. So you can ink cards from your discard. This effect is absolutely bonkers because unlike like a card like Tipo where it says put a card from your hand into your inkwell face down and exerted, Sail the Azurite Sea just says you get to ink an extra card this turn. So you would normally have to just ink a card. It's a separate action from after Sail the Azurite Sea's already gone to the discard. So now you realistically, if you have Moana out, you could play Sail, it resolves, goes to the discard, and then you could ink that same Sail
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
which is amazing for a deck where you don't want to have to give up those cards from your hand. You're basing your whole gameplay on building up all this resource in your hand to have cards to play. So when you get to a point in the game where you're giving up these good cards in your inkwell, you want to just be able to put the stuff you've already used. It's amazing. There's been lots of cards in other card games I've seen that function like this, and they're always amazing. So I'm very hopeful for this modern card to be very good.
Helps and like compete on for your turn, you can also use your discard, right?
Yes, yeah. So not only can you cast Sail, then have Sail resolve, it goes to your discard. You use Sail the ink for the turn, then you could have another inkable card in your discard and ink it as well.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be really cool in the Amber Sapphire build, because you're going to be able to stack your graveyard and then just like be able to always like play. You know, you're going to be able to play. You know, I think it's going to be really cool, especially as a customer too.
Yeah,
and the fact that the princess is ridiculous, like it goes so well, it's actually insane. Like, it should not be a princess. It really should not be a princess.
But she is a princess. You know, look how
I know.
And in the art too, she's like seeing snow, and so she's so amazed by it. How nice, and you know, such an amazing ability to go with her amazement of the snow is very nice. And also to be said about the ink from your discard. You know, you are actively not losing a card in your hand. So these blue decks might not even need as much discard or as much draw effects as they once needed, because now they just have cards in their inkwell. Or have cards in their inkwell from their yard. So
insane card.
Sweet ability. Absolutely.
Probably an S tier card for sure. All right, Zach.
On to the next one.
Oh yeah.
We got Elisa Maza. This is one of my. I love that they've been doing Gargoyles so much so that I've actually opted to rewatch the Gargoyle show. It has been very good. I would suggest to anybody to do it. Very fun. But Elisa Maza, she is a 3-cost inkable 4/4, quest for 1. She has 2 abilities, so your character's strength can't be reduced below their printed value. So that means that whatever they're at. And then she has the Stone by Day effect, which if you have 3 or more cards in your hand, this character cannot ready. So this seems like a great counteraction to dogs and the Ruby decks. Or really any of the decks that are to be reducing your strength to be able to do cheap stuff.
I think like in Infinity, this is insane.
I was also randomly about to say.
Oh yeah, it's also randomly a detective.
Yes, yes, might be relevant at some point. She's a police officer in the show.
Oh, okay.
So not well, I think realistically detective, because she's not like a police, like she doesn't dress up like a police officer. She has a red leather jacket, but it's a great card for Infinity. I have been super impressed with the amount of reduction that blue-red can do as it's evolved in Infinity, as it's become more and more refined with new items. So it is so hard to play against it, and having a card like this in a red deck gives me a little bit of confidence that, you know, my Ruby Amethyst Infinity deck might have a shot. Because it was really struggling against that. You just build up a nice board of some good characters, and they'd go reduce, big Sisu. And so this card makes them at least have to have a, you know, removal spell first. They have to have a Hades to get rid of it first. So
yeah, I mean, and the Stone by Day is kind of tough on the 3 costs, you know, but also like you're probably never turning this sideways.
Especially if you're using it for what its ability is for.
Yeah,
there's going to be some aggro matchups. Maybe you're going to want to play it on 3 just to have a 4/4 to attack something. But most of the time, not the case.
Yeah. Great. Love it.
On to the next. So
another banger, man.
You want me to take this one, Mark?
Yeah, take it up.
All right, so we got a 3-cost inkable 3/4 genie. So he's got a boost for 1, and this character gets +1 lore for each card under him, and he starts out with 1 lore initially.
Yeah, and Amethyst. Yeah, I really like this card. I think it's going to be... I just love that they're getting like free boost abilities, and it's saying like for the card under, so it works with the Donald again. This Emerald Donald deck is going to be sick. Like, we also have the Emerald item that boosts an extra card. Like,
I think you might also see this card in the monster combo deck, even if it's not necessarily a combo deck.
Yeah. That might be tough in the combo deck.
Well, I think that you play.
You play the elephant.
Yeah, but in certain matchups where you're like, oh, I'm never going to be able to combo off, you might be able to just use this song, find the way. Is it that you have to name the exact card, or can you just name Genie?
I can just name Genie.
Okay, so then you have 4 of the 4-cost Genie, and then 4 of this Genie. You're probably going to hit it, and they're both pretty good. They're both pretty aggressive, and you just like... It's the idea that like you just like boost, and then you also have those decks where you're gonna cheat a bunch of boost onto it. It's only one cost boost too. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I will say actually to your point as well, like playing the deck so much with the cat is like the lantern makes it so good. So this is basically you actually get to pay 2 for the cost, and then you actually just pay the 1 for the boost. So you really are only paying 3 to get the ability as well. Like cat, it's like, oh, this is only 4. Because you're only really paying 2 with the lantern. Obviously, a lantern is like ink, but it doesn't use your ink, so it allows you to boost a little bit more than another deck could.
My only criticism of this card is that, we have seen quite a few good Genie cards. I know that, R&D doesn't always know what cards are going to be good. This card feels like it's going to be good, and it's just kind of funny that, we have another rare Genie that's good. And, another Amethyst character could have taken this spot, maybe. But maybe that's just me being too picky. Long live Genie. He's going to survive rotation when we lose old Genie.
Exactly. That was what their whole point was.
On to the next. Grammatala. You want to take this one, Mark?
Sure. We got a 12 cost. That's right. What do you say? 12 cost. Uninkable Sapphire card. It's a promo, so I don't know what the actual, if it's going to be a super rare or rare or anything like that. But it's a 6/6. Quest for 2. And it has Ancestor's Gift. For each card in your inkwell, you can pay 1 less to play this character. I don't know how I feel about this, because I feel like typically in Lorcana, these big cost quests for a lot characters, they don't do anything. Like, they're not impactful enough to like really make a difference, because you ink so high, you maybe play this for 3, and then they also are inking, and then they just Hades it, and you're like, well, great. I probably would have rather played a character that did something on ability, like on play.
Yeah, I liken this a lot to those big character cost cards like Hades, where Hades is like, he's a good card. He's also uninkable. He's high cost. But really you're only giving up 3 strength for him. You're still questing for 2. And yeah, you don't get a cost reduction, but he costs 5 less than her. And he puts a card into their inkwell from play. You're banishing their best guy.
Yeah.
Versus this comes into play and does nothing. So it's tough for me. It does it sings for 12 though. That's pretty cool. You probably sing a cool song.
That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point, because you could play this on 6, right?
Very, very easily. Not even on 6, really, because if you're ramping like crazy with
you could really play it
you can play it super early.
Maybe.
So, maybe turn 5. Yeah.
Maybe you're cooking. Maybe second star on turn. You already sing second star though if you just play like a regular curve. But
only use one character to sing second star, and then you could maybe sing something else or just quest with all your other guys. But this is also a far. I'm trying my best to make this card work on my mind,
Yeah.
and, right away. But initially, I'm not super impressed by it. It feels like
I do kind of like it.
Bell was like that, where it was like this 9 cost like Sapphire Ruby card, and it was like it's gonna be so good, and then it ends up not being that great. So.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, overall, probably will be mid at best.
Yeah.
And also, please draft it against me. All of the people from our locals, take that card. It's actually really good.
It's so good. All right, on to the next big guy. We got Dr. Hamsterville. It's a 5/5, 8 cost inkable quest for 2. Has one ability called Controlled Variables. For each alien character card in your discard, you can pay 1 less to play this character. And when you play this character, chosen opposing character can't challenge during their next turn. So
Yeah.
it seems alright if you're trying to build an alien deck. I think this is going to come up with a little bit more of those theme decks that we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Where you want to build a Stitch deck, this is probably going to be rad. Maybe not so much in Core Constructed. So
No, I mean we're about to go over the Gantu that came out, which is an alien, and so it's really like okay, think of it as like just the cost of 5/5 quest for 2. Like what is the best that you want to pay to play this? Probably pay 4 because we don't have a 4/4 like a 4 cost character for 5 that quest for 2. So then you need 4 aliens in your discard
for him to even be sorta okay, and then might not. You're also I get more strength, but I don't draw a card. This 4-drop is bad compared to Genie, and he doesn't have evasive. What the heck? I feel ripped off. So like,
I mean, it's just
it's not it. He's cute.
Unless we have a mill strategy that you can mill like 5 cards on turn 1, and like you just like high roll and you like hit 5, and you're like, play the hamster.
you could play like a deck that is specifically for this. You play a ton of aliens and you play a ton of discard, but then I think we're veering too far into casual deck building, where I think that it'd be more of a for fun deck than ever see it in any type of tournament. All right,
sweet.
On to the next.
Oh yeah, another great emerald card. You want
to take it or you want me?
Oh, I'll take it.
Go for it.
It's a 2 cost inkable white rabbit. 2 strength, 2 willpower, and the underdog ability, which is awesome. We should have talked about that in the meta. Maybe we'll talk more about it next week. Underdog ability.
I think meta and these new cards are kind of like blending together a little bit, because I think it's more important to the meta now what will be than what was.
Yeah, but 2 costs, inkable, 2/2 underdog, quest for 1. If this is your first turn and you're not the first player, you pay 1 less to play this character. So effectively, if you go second, it only costs 1, and it has evasive. So you're playing on turn 1 a 1 cost 2/2 with evasive, which is better than Pegasus. I really like the underdog abilities. I think it's really cool. They said in the lore cast, in case you missed it, that every color will be getting an underdog ability. So you're going to have a chance to have 2 underdog abilities, 8 cards in your deck going second. With
each color will get 2?
Oh no. Each color will get 1, but I'm saying in the deck, if you play both the colors, you could be playing 2, theoretically 2 underdogs, like if they were good enough. So like example, if you're playing the Amber Emerald, you get to play the Singer,
you get to play 4 of each. And
I
guess that will help mitigate some of the play draw disparage in the game, which I like, that they're kind of baking into the cards to make that an easier thing. It does feel like a concept that's maybe a little harder for newer players to understand, but I think that if it's something that they keep up with and it becomes just another keyword like evasive, that players will just understand it a little bit.
It's also tough to is it worth playing a 2 cost 2/2 evasive?
I think that
if you never get the effect, if it was uninkable, I think maybe not,
Well,
but
well,
because
that
it's
I
inkable,
think that'll be yet to be seen. Like maybe all the underdog effects are all inkable.
they're gonna
In
have to be,
fairness, you
right?
know what I mean? Like,
Okay,
because otherwise, I think
unless
people
it's
won't play them.
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
unless it's insane.
I mean that's the thing is that it could be just also like a one cost, but it's a zero cost when it's you're on the draw. You know, it could be like an item or something, and it's like yeah, play
Yeah.
that in the item deck. But very interesting concept. It'd be interesting. Did they happen to mention if it was if you remember if it was all the underdog effects are coming out for each of the colors this set, or is it just
Yeah.
okay? That's awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be such an
So
interesting meta for the next big tournament and set championships.
yeah, and we have three more reveals
Mm-hmm.
for you.
Yeah, and I suppose that this
And
is not necessarily really a reveal anyway, because we already talked about this card, so I won't spend too much time on it. But man, that artwork is awesome, and I
yeah,
can't wait to see the actual promos and duke it out for some of those promos.
yeah, and hopefully people actually show up for because this is a cool art and an iconic character. No,
There will be
no
large.
shame to Daisy, but this is actually a character people will want. So
It's unfortunate that I think that particular art of Daisy wasn't super well loved, and I think there were a lot of enchantments that they could have done way better. Would have done way better. Like even some of the gargoyles would have done better. You know, what I
I
mean?
was shocked there wasn't a gargoyle.
Yeah,
Like
it
what?
was like Whispers of the Well. It was like this dark, or even if it was just like one of the Mickey spooky cards, you know what I mean? Like one of the ghosts or something like that.
Yeah.
It could have been something fun and playful like that, but instead it's Daisy that was like sort of kind of not really even playable. But at least with this, with the art, I know that people, just like the Maleficent Dragon, it's not
Yeah.
even a super popular card to play in constructed deck, but this card, even though it's not super popular, it's just like any of the other like really pretty artworks going on with
Yeah.
it'll just attract the crowd. I think it's going to be a great prize, and I hope I'm able to secure one. I already want it. Not even available. All right, on to the next one. So we got Stitch. He's a 3/2 inkable quest for one, and his ability is amped up. While you have a character named Lilo in play, this character gains Challenger +3.
I mean, especially costing for two, it's like an Infinity again. Like, there's so many. Like, they definitely are making cards like Infinity cards like actually good for the DLC. I think coming up in June because a lot of these cards is like my first thought is like, oh, Infinity.
Yeah.
Not even like
There are a lot of
because I don't even know if
things
there's
you
a
can do
one
with
cost
one
Lilo. Yeah.
There might be, but it's probably not good.
Is there? Yeah, I don't even
like,
remember.
Realistically, I mean, you're not going to attack on turn 2 anyway, so you could even have a 3-cost Lilo that you play, or you play the 2-cost Lilo and a 1-drop, so that way you can attack on 3 with it. But yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of a stretch in core constructed, at least at the moment, in my opinion. But, like, a 3/2 with +3 attack is still going to die anyway, so
Yeah.
if you could trade with something good, okay, but, like, what are you going to trade with, like, a Hades? So, not super impressed, but it's a promo card, so I think it's more about the cute Stitch art.
Yeah.
On to the next. Got Gontu.
Yeah,
You want to take
two
this
more
one,
for you guys. Sure, we got Gontu, 1 cost, Steel, 3/3, and it says when you play this character, choose and discard a card. So, it is not a, you will have to discard a card if there's a card in your hand. I believe that you can still play it if you have no cards in your hand. You just won't discard. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean,
you go to discard cards from your hand, and you have none, so you technically play it still. But this goes really well with the other alien that we were looking at earlier, where you discard the aliens, so you're already getting a one cost 3/3, which is super dope.
Or discard a Lilo, discard an uninkable, if the song deck gets bored, or
God forbid
I think
out about this card, and then turn 1 they go 1-drop Gontu, discard a card, alright, play. It's just you get extra like items in your yard, and then you get to big Tamatoas.
Yeah, this I do like it, and I think just a 3/3 for one is good, and it might even
Super
make
good.
Black Heron irrelevant. To be honest, well, I think automatically Captain Hook kind of goes out now. Captain Hook gets taken out for this.
Mm. I mean, I
But
guess
we'll
it
see.
depends. Being down a card is also rough. Granted, you get closer to dock value, I suppose,
Yeah,
but
exactly. But
um,
again, depends on the discard, right? If discard's huge in the meta, then that one card is going to be actually a lot. But if you pair it with the Sapphire, you can just ink it from your graveyard. So it don't matter.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. All
All
right,
right, Zach. The
final
nice
one.
last card. Yeah.
All right, so we got Pocahontas. She is a 5 cost inkable 3/6. She shifts for 3, so one can hope there's at least going to be a 1 or 2 cost from the set that's a common or uncommon. She
Yeah.
quests for 2, and when you play this character, if you use shift to play her, uh, her and more characters challenge this
And
turn.
none.
Sorry. The image is a
Yeah, it's
little
hard.
blurry. Yeah. When you shift to play her, and none of your characters challenge this turn, characters can't challenge at the start of your next turn. So it's very peace treaty like, very Pocahontas like, very
Yeah,
thematic.
which they
I
said
love
on the
it.
lore cast too.
Mm-hmm.
Which like they wanted to make that.
Another
Yeah, I don't know
mechanic.
how I feel about this card. I think like effects in the past that have like limited challenging hasn't really mattered. Again, it depends. Like if we get no shift, I think there's no way that you play this character. Obviously, because
Oh
it says shift.
yeah,
Like we're gonna get a shift, but
yeah,
if it's a bad shift, I don't think it's even gonna get played.
yeah.
At
I
three
think
six
it
isn't that
has
hard to get
it
rid of.
it has to at least be a 1 cost 2/2 that quest for 1 at the minimum inkable.
Yeah.
And anything better than that would definitely make me think that this card could see some play. But it's also rough if you don't have the shift. They kill the shift, and now you have this 5 drop in this probably aggressive deck. You don't want to play this for 5. You only want to be shifting it.
Yeah,
And
and
you
that's the
really
other
only
thing is
get
like
it when the
we
shift ability happens too.
like there's literally a Merlin that says you can search any card in the game if you shift it, and no one played it. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, and we had so many Merlins. It's not like we had like no Merlins either.
Yeah, I mean that
We had
was part
four
of my
eight
worry with like
with so
losing the
many different
Merlin
Merlins.
effects though when you shifted it. But with this, I can see maybe a world where you could play it in dogs in the idea that you probably if it's a 1 drop shift, and then if you have Chromacon and you bounce this for only 4, now you can play the 1 drop and shift it that turn. And I believe she doesn't have to quit. Yeah, if none of your characters challenge this turn, characters can't challenge. So you could kind of be in this like infinite loop situation where if they are challenging your guy,
Yeah.
you're bouncing back Pocahontas and replaying it next turn. They can't challenge next turn. You get a whole nother quest cycle for free without your guys dying. So I mean, I could see a world where it maybe see some play, or it's maybe like a useful card to try
Yeah,
to use, but maybe not.
great,
All right, and so the
awesome.
final card now, because we're at the end of the lorecast. We're gonna go to one of the
Oh
cards
yeah,
that I
I
think
forgot
was
about
like
that card.
super exciting card. Do you want to take it, Mark?
No, you got it.
All right, so we got Mickey Mouse Snowboarding Ace. He did not get posted. I think he got released after we had made that post on Facebook. But he is a 4/6 for 6. He's uninkable. He quests for 2, and he has an ability called Slippery Slope. Well, when you play this character, and when he leaves play, each opponent chooses and discards a card. Man, that sounds like a card I've played before. Can you think of
It's
the card, Mark?
dude, it's insane. Like I can't believe a rabbit is coming back, but it's in a Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting because it's like you just don't know, but it's like it's either we're gonna have a meta of like play your hand out, and guess what? Have you ever heard of a card called Doc? It's the best freaking card in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be like play everything out, nothing gets discarded, you're fine. Or it's gonna be like the complete opposite, where everyone is just like screw it, I'm gonna draw cards. I know you're gonna discard stuff, but as long as I draw the better cards, it's gonna be good. And it's like I just think in blue green, it's so unfair. I'm already getting mad about it, and I haven't even played a single
Well,
game.
well,
But
yeah,
like them
I
doing
get
it
it.
to me, I'm already like gonna be like, uh.
Well, especially because it's like, oh, you don't have any cards? No worries. I'm gonna You're welcome your card on the board. Okay,
Oh
now
my
I'm gonna
god, you're
play
right.
Mickey Mouse. So like now I can take advantage of you, and like, or I could like shift Clarabelle. Now
Well,
play Mickey.
wait.
You know what I mean? Like,
If you target your welcome on it, the your welcome, it wouldn't trigger, right? It would miss
no, no,
timing.
no. Well, it's gonna leave play. So yeah, I'd make them discard a card. So you're welcome. If you're welcome your own.
Your welcome to it.
Yeah, if you're
You
welcome
draw
your own.
two, they discard one.
Yeah, yeah. You draw two, they discard one.
That's. I'm already angry. That's insane. And they get the chance to like draw it again. That's
Well,
the,
and in that regard, he can sing it himself
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, that's what I was
for
saying. It's like you
free,
sing it. Yeah, it's literally free to be like, I just need two cards, and you
and
discard
you
one.
get one less card too.
Yeah, I mean, also though, I think Emerald, Amethyst is gonna really like that card.
Oh,
I think
there's gonna be a ton of
it'll
decks
be
that love
good.
that deck. I mean, even the decks that were like the Emerald Ruby decks that were like kind of teeter tottering last set that we saw little bits of with like power lines and trying to do cute stuff with that. I feel like this is a
Not
perfect home
true.
for that in a deck like that.
Yeah.
But obviously, other really good decks with green in it will also play it. Especially, Mother's Knows Best at back. Quest for two. Mother's Knows Best at back to my hand. Replay it.
Dude,
What are you
Infinity,
gonna do?
you get to play John, play this, they discard, and then you sing Sudden Chill. They discard again. Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be insane. Like, I'm already sick. Like, and you could double Sudden Chill, so you could literally just take your whole hand out, like the old days, in like turn four. Infinity is gonna be actually kind of fun. I mean, I didn't play it in Richmond, but this new set, it's actually making it seem pretty cool.
No, no, there's going to be some very relevant cards.
Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, awesome.
All right, all
Well,
right, all right.
thanks for sticking with us, y'all. Those are all the new cards. And now we're moving to our next segment, the workshop requests, which we
Mm-hmm.
had two requests and just on time. We're going to go through them pretty quick. But thanks again for taking it up. I want me to take the first one and then you take the second one?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So, a listener question, the workshop request. Joseph says, I played Monster Combo at Set Champs and came in 5th, which was okay, but I was really worried about messing up the combo. Honestly, the pressure of the deck almost made it not worth it. Have you experienced a lot of pressure playing the deck while you had to explain the combo? Would you play it if you were going to Set Champs this weekend? Would you play the combo-less version? First of all, thank you for commenting. I really appreciate it. Congrats on your 5th place. Um, I don't think the pressure of the deck, I ever felt it. I think it's more pressure on me personally, especially first playing it, is like, do I ink the combo here? Can I really wait 3 turns to play this card? And it's more like you get in your own head, in my opinion, in the deck about like what you have to do, and then you're not really paying attention of like what the other person is doing because you're so worried about like what you have to do. Um, so I think that is like something that is hard. I don't think explaining the combos that hard. Um, I do a lot of youth teaching in my personal life, so I've taught a lot of people. So I don't think it's that hard. I think it's a little more tedious. It's annoying. You have to definitely make sure you're on the time of being like, come on, like make sure you play because it is a hard deck, and even doing the combo itself, uh,
Time consuming.
yeah, can take a while. Especially if your player's like, I have literally have no idea what you're doing.
They want to understand what you're doing. You're just flipping over your whole deck. Like this is
Yeah,
like super confusing.
especially when you look at like turn monster, draw, discard, turn the monster, draw, discard. It's like it can get confusing.
No,
So,
of course. There's always those
um,
dexterity like mess ups where you're like maybe not completely clear on the first one, and they're like, "Wait, no, no, it's exerted. You can't do that."
yeah. But it's important to know that if you go through your whole deck, it will always be uh, upright. So,
So
and then yeah, I think I would
it,
play it in set champs if I was going.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't personally the comboless version. I don't like. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. But I always want to have the condition of just being like Monstro. And in the comboless version, they know I don't have that. So I actually feel a little more pressure of like, okay, I have to play exactly right. And like they cannot have any outs today right now.
Are you sure you really like always reveal to them that you're not the combo version?
I mean, eventually, yes, you will.
Usually by like the
Like
second
in
or
a
third
match.
game, they'll notice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if they don't see that we know the way, that's like the clear. Because you could like just play Monstros,
Mm-hmm.
but if they don't see that we know the way or the Illuminary, like
Yeah.
a competitive player will not know. But yeah, what's your thoughts?
So in my opinion, I think combo in particular is a style of deck that naturally creates a bit of anxiousness as well, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the exact right cards at the exact right times. Otherwise, you don't get to do your thing. So that's already more stressful than a normal or kind of game where you're just looking for the cards to play for the right amount. You're looking for inkables. You're looking for the ability to draw more than one card a turn. Like so, with this is like you're also thinking about, oh, what am I gonna do on turn 12 when I try to combo with this monster effect, or will I need the Donald, or will I be able to get the Great Illuminary out without it dying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think most complicated game actions compared to a lot of other combos, I feel like it's pretty straightforward. So it's kind of like if you have it and not need it, then that's good. Versus needing it and not having it is kind of how I would look at the combo. Like, all right, we have it, and if we don't need it, we don't need it. Like, okay, we're gonna win anyway. Just question. But when you don't have it and then you need it, sort of I feel like you're on a similar uh, length wavelength about that. Um, and
I do.
I'm sure there are games in the combo deck where you just end up going, nah, I'm just gonna go aggro.
Well, yeah, you can just. It's more evasive aggro, so it's more just
Yeah,
like
you're just
Genie
jamming out.
Elsa, and you didn't see any of your evasives. I think it is, in my opinion, my favorite deck to play Demona in though, because you don't care if you draw them cards because you just want to see your combo. So it's really easy to just like empty your hand, Demona, and like you don't feel as bad in like Amethyst Steel when you're like, oh crap, I have to give them two cards, Like that actually might clear my board where it's a combos like, all right, I'm gonna draw three. Like, so in my opinion, it's my favorite Demona deck, which I really enjoy. But yeah, thanks again for the comment. We really appreciate it. And make sure you comment so you can be on the next segment. Zach, what's the second
So
question?
the second question, the only concern I have, I don't see the name of the individual who made the second question.
I think it was Mentis,
Mentis
aka
Black,
yeah.
Mr. Adam. Thank you for commenting. Adam comments, Mentis Black, Mentis Black comments. Hey guys, congrats on the new podcast. I can picture Tommy coming over from Italy, making pizzas, perfecting his craft for 50 years, and he watches you put red pepper flakes on it before trying to slice. But we forgive you, even if Tommy might not. On the subject, with Green Blue winning Richmond, presumably that will change the meta share at set championship. Can you give us your thoughts on that and the best ways to take advantage of it? Disruptive cards like Ursula and Mowgli can knock out Emerald Sapphires off their footing if you play them correctly, in my opinion. That was what I had learned with the Dogs deck over Richmond weekend.
Yeah.
And Chromacon can kind of mess them up if you're playing Dogs. As far as maybe Purple Steel variants and combo variants, I'd probably default to you, Mark, on what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I'd say, it's tough. I do think you just add Pete's, especially like in our locals, like the last weekends before we went to Richmond, I played 8 rounds, two because we had less than 20. And out of those 8 rounds, I played 6 blue green, So in that sense, playing 4 Pete would have been great. Um, I think the combo deck, it's really like you're going into battle. You know what I mean? You have to basically find your combo before they can out everything. In my opinion, it's really just play as many evasives, make them force the evasive hate, and then you can just like jam the monstro and win. Um, but it's hard. I think the deck, like most people say, really beats itself. Every person at your locals isn't going to be a sky and a fungus. So, you know, I'd say really don't get in your head either. You know, but the deck is hard. It's a hard deck to beat. But don't get in your head. Make logical decisions. Know about the Clarabelle shift, and just hope that they don't have the the combo.
The absolute perfects too. Sometimes it's just about them having the perfect hand, or you're letting them have too many turns to sculpt the perfect hand. So they're definitely going to have it. So you better disrupt them in some way, shape, or form, whether that be Pete's or Mowgli's or Ursula's.
Yeah, and the evasive, like the fast evasive plan too. Like you could not play Pete, and honestly, I was thinking about it. Just go for Timothy, go all evasive. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
super hard to deal with stuff.
Like, yeah, they're not going to be able, and especially if they're copying the fungus build, they're not playing Under the Sea. I mean, you should for such champs really, but maybe they're not. Maybe like they play one spooky. Like you could even put a 2-cost like duck evasive, and then go into like Timothy's and then you'll probably just win off that.
Absolutely.
Because something Sky said is that he thought Ruby Amethyst was a tough matchup because they're like the only ones that consistently can go double 2-drop the quest for 2 into like 2 1-drops. So maybe Ruby Amethyst with more of an evasive quest fast kind of
absolutely
would work as well. So yeah.
So I actually noticed today too that we actually had one other comment.
Awesome.
Our video, so I just wanted to throw that in there. I didn't want anybody to feel left out. The question was from Dr. Poons, 6075, and they asked. My question is, rate Tommy's Pizza. So, can you rate Tommy's Pizza?
Oh yes. Let me just go back to it. For those of you just listening, I'm tasting. I'm licking my lips. I'm thinking about the pizza, and I'm going to a nice 8.2.
Nice.
It was really hot when we ate it, so it kind of fell apart. It could have probably been in the oven for like another 3 to 4 minutes, in my opinion. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Tommy's 50-year craft. I had already commented on Poonce's saying I gave it an 8.3.
Good.
Fairly. Definitely thought it was a little bit less than the hype I found from David Portnoy, but I also, I put a little Band-Aid on it, being like, I wouldn't know as much as him. But absolutely.
But yeah, it was
Thank
good.
you all 3 of you for commenting, and please feel free to comment more. We will try to get out to all of you.
Yeah,
as many as we can.
And let's hit to the hero of the week.
Absolutely.
So, for a creator hero of the week, funny enough, we wanted to shout out Rules of Villainy for mentioning us on their podcast. They showed our sticker and our cool logo. Again, if you're watching, I'm pointing to our logo. Obviously, you know the logo because you're on the video. But
on your sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, it's also on the sweatshirt. Merch coming soon. Yeah, and they're just really good guys. I love their podcast. I like that they're showing up for the community. And yeah. Did you have another hero did you want to talk about?
So I think I had maybe picked out a hero card as well. This was a card, and let me see if I can get him up on TC.
Well, Zach's looking this up. You clicked the sub button, right? Because I watched you. I don't know if I saw you click the sub button and you clicked the share button, right?
Good job. My hero of the week is a card that I saw revealed after we had done some of our postings and stuff, and I just thought it was awesome that we were able to get a 5-cost uninkable 5/5 with Rush. And then his ability is when you play this character, put 2 cards from chosen player's discard on the bottom of their deck in any order, which is a great hate card against those bad boys. So that's awesome. And a 5/5 with Rush is just reminding me of good old Maui Hero to all days. So
Is it a Ruby card?
it is an Amethyst card. So in the sense that I was playing that in Ruby Amethyst, but you know,
Cool.
it's a great fat Rush card that I think will do lots of great work.
Yeah. Awesome. And if you had any thoughts of Hero of the Week, you can let us know down below. We'll be talking about just people who we think are killing it in the content space or players. We'll talk about decks that maybe just out of nowhere came and, were resilient. And same thing with like cards. So,
Even just the lore cast this week was just amazing. It was awesome stuff.
Yeah, honestly, the Hero of the Week could be even the Ravensburger team for Disney.
It was just an amazing job.
Yeah. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, we gave you an extra long podcast today. Make sure you check out the next podcast as well, because we're going to be going over even more spoilers. Make sure you hit that sub button, comment down below, because it really means a lot to us. And yeah, Zach, do you have any final words before we send off?
No, I think that'll be it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And please join us next week for our podcast and our gameplays.
Yeah, and we'll see you if we make it out of the winter spell this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Peace.